LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.
Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland, it's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.
Welcome back to another week in review, LIB Future TV. Hello, everyone. I missed you all. Hope you had a great week, good week, productive week. We have another great show ahead. A lot of good information, and we can't wait to hear you call in. But first, let's welcome our producer Jefferson and also Lavetta. How are you all doing? How was the week?
Well, yes, I'm okay. Let me say good afternoon to you there in the US, and it's good to be here again. This weekend edition of the program, I'm good as well.
Lavetta, how are you? How was your week?
Yeah, the week wasn't easy, but I'm okay.
You look good.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
do we
you.
have any good trending news?
Yeah, so I can get right into it.
Yes.
All right, good evening and welcome to LIB Future today's trending news stories. I'm Lovecta Davis. Alexander Cummings joins Africa's most influential leaders at 2026 Africa CEO Forum in Kigali, Rwanda. Liberia's former presidential candidate and political leader of the Alternative National Congress, Alexander Cummings, is participating in the prestigious 2026 Africa CEO Forum in Kigali, Rwanda, joining some of Africa's most influential heads of state, business executive, investors, and economic policy makers at the continent's leading private sector summit. The 13th edition of the forum, organized by John Afrique Media and co-hosted by the International France Corporation, has attracted more than 2,800 participants from across Africa and beyond under the theme Skill or Fail, while Africa must embrace shared ownership among the high-profile leaders attending this year's summit. uh, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Paul Kagame, and African industrial giant Aliko Dangote. The Africa CEO Forum is where the conversations shaping Africa's investment future take place. Liberia must remain connected to these conversations and positioned for opportunities that can drive national growth, create jobs, and strengthen our economy. Cummings stated, widely respected for his global corporate leadership, Cummings brings more than 4 decades of international business experience to the gathering. He previously served as Executive Vice President and Global Chief Administrative Officer of the Coca-Cola Company and also led Coca-Cola Africa operation as President of the Africa Group. During his corporate career, he became one of the most senior African executives in global corporate leadership. As discussions continued in Kigali, Cummings' participation signals Liberia's continued engagement in shaping Africa's future economic direction while advocating for greater investment and development opportunities for the Liberian people. ANC political leader Alexander Cummings sharply responds to fake propaganda from supporters of President Bouaka. Alternative National Congress political leader Alexander Cummings says at no time was an appointment of his chief of staff made by his office. According to him, it is enriched in the NC statement that Councillor Moriah Yakula is a distinguished member and officer of the NC serving as vice chair for legal affairs, noting that she has been fearlessly loyal to him and the entire party, and they will fearlessly protect and defend her. While many had their hands in supporting me, she has not, and as a result is being cruelly and vigorously attacked. We will not let the attacker get away with that, Cummings noted. He asserted that Moriah has built a solid reputation for herself, backed by her impeccable character, and no amount of smear campaign can change that, adding that her family, marriage, or personal life will not be used to defy her now or ever. The NC political leader at the same time underscored that he will always support and defend Moriah and reciprocate her loyalty and support of him. Alexander Cummings further stated that though they both do not always agree, but she has never shared their disagreement publicly. She is the consummate example of a good and true team player who focuses on their end goal, understanding that they will sometimes disagree on the means to achieving that goal, gaining state power to benefit all Liberians. Moriah remains an asset to not just the NC but to nation building, women's rights, and the advancement of women and girls, and it will not be buried under the rubble of crashing political propaganda machinery. Former Vice President reacts to criticism against Councillor Moriah Yekola, describes allegation as campaign to undermine women positions of authority. Liberia's former Vice President Joel Howard Taylor has come in defense of Councillor Moriah Yekola amid public criticism, describing recent allegations and public commentary against her as a broader campaign to undermine women in positions of authority. In a strongly awarded statement, former Vice President Howard Taylor said female leaders in Liberia are frequently subjected to character attacks and misinformation whenever they gain influence in national affairs. According to her, political opponents often resort to damaging personal reputations when they are unable to challenge a woman's achievement or professional record. Public school teachers blast Ministry of Education plans to arrest teachers teaching in classrooms without lesson. Scores of public school teachers have blasted the Ministry of Education plans to arrest teachers who are volunteering their services in the classrooms. According to the volunteer teachers, since the UP-led government came into power, they continue to experience difficulties in providing quality education in the classrooms. The teachers, most of whom are recently high school graduates, caution the government to appreciate their efforts in volunteering their services over the years rather than arresting them. Liberia Independent Elder Council for Peace and Reconciliation calls on President Bouaka to reconcile the country. The Liberia Independent Elder Council for Peace and Reconciliation has called on President Joseph Bouaka to foster peace and unity among Liberians. Addressing a press conference Wednesday, the Independent Elder Council said it is deeply concerned about the growing political division, tension, and hostility among supporters of the CDC and the Unity Party, adding that Liberia's democracy must never become a hatred, revenge, tribalism, or political bitterness. The council emphasized that President Joseph Bouaka, as certain president, bears the greater constitutional responsibility to lead the process of reconciliation and inclusion. Councillor Per Brown-Bull terms the political advisor to President Bouaka as a disgrace to womanhood. Renowned Liberian lawyer and signer of the 1986 Constitution has sharply reacted to a statement made by political advisor to President Joseph Bouaka, Mandela Cooper. Speaking at the grounds of the Temple of Justice, Councillor Bull said that Mandela Cooper is not politically inclined, adding that she has been accused of allegedly stealing other people's name. According to Councillor Bull, as political advisor to President Bouaka, Mandela Cooper has failed to bring any international partners to Liberia, urging her to stay away from the operation of Foreign Minister Cyril Beslo Yanti and focus on her job. Meanwhile, the Liberian lawyer praised Foreign Minister Cyril Best's loyalty for her great job at the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Liberians expressed frustrations over the hack in the price of safe drinking water across the country. Scores of Liberian businesses continue to face the most recent complaint is the absolute shortage of safe drinking water on at various homes in the capital, Monrovia. It can be recalled that during the course this week, the prices of mineral water increased from $5 per bag to $10, while the price of 1.5 liter of water increased from $100 to $120. They complained that the government continues to increase taxes on basic goods and services, such as plastics and other products, something they said is causing hardship for importers. According to them, the government, through the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, promised to provide port-borne water across the country, but has failed. Some of them stated that because they could not afford the cost of buying a bag of water for $10, they had no option but to drink from contaminated wells. In another development, the Liberia Water Producer Association says the recent increase in the price of bags and sacks of mineral water was driven by raising production costs and multiple regulatory charges across government institutions. According to the spokesperson, Joseph Bonner, fuel prices increased from $800 to $1,225 per gallon, which significantly increased production and distribution costs for water producers who rely on generators and transport trucks. Bonner alleged that producers in Painesville are also paying US $110 per machine in operational fees to the Painesville City Corporation, something he said places more pressure on businesses operating multiple machines. He further cited additional regulatory and compliance costs, including fees linked to the Environmental Protection Agency and water testing requirements, as well as charges linked to groundwater regulation by the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. My name is Lavecta Davis. I presented the latest new update from Liberia.
Thank you, Lavetta. You know, we also need to cover a story that's developing, and I guess we can get more into it next week. But it looks like there's another Ebola outbreak. Have you heard of that? Have you seen anything about that so far?
Well, not really.
Not really.
We haven't heard about this.
Okay. Yes, it looks like there's a Ebola outbreak in the Congo. So we'll be following that story too. But thank you so much, Lavetta, for that news. And I hope you get home safely tonight.
Okay, yeah, it's always a pleasure having me. Thank you too.
Thank you. Yes, so tonight we have a lot of great topics. We have three topics that we're going to cover tonight. The first topic is something that Lavetta touched on in her news, and it's about waste, government waste, and the audit that shows how much we waste money in Liberia, and that is what's stopping our growth. And then you add to that the cost of taxes and fees that the government is putting on Liberian people. And this tells us why the country cannot develop, why it's not developing like the other neighbors are developing. So we're going to cover the audits that have happened, the spending, the money, the millions of dollars that Liberia is losing, and why that's stopping us from developing in our water pipes, in our clean water, in getting roads, in getting good education, because of all the waste that's happening. And there was a recent audit that showed exactly how much money is being lost in corruption and stealing and mismanagement and that kind of thing. The second topic we're going to talk about is Unification Day. That was this week. And how Liberians are really feeling, if they are feeling unified, if they're feeling like the country is coming together. We had this story in the news about women in politics, you know, and what Magdala Cooper said about the foreign minister, and, you know, what Pearl Bull talked about, how women need to be unified. So we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about how the government is being put together. Is it being put together in a way that shows unification in the country? You know, do we see CDC, ANC, LPP, NPP, LINU reflected in the government? Is the government reflected by all the counties, or is the government just about one party and one region? We're going to talk about that too. And the last topic we're going to talk about is this fake propaganda and how we in the public can stop listening, falling for all this fake news, fake propaganda that's coming out as we head to the election. So let's go right into our first topic, and that is going to be this whole waste situation. There was an audit that was just completed, and it was between the years 2020 and 2023. So one of the things that the Unity Party does is it is auditing, but it's not auditing the years that it is in power. It is only auditing the years that the CDC was in power. So we need to be very careful. But the audit from 2020 to 2023 showed that $1.2 million in personal income tax was never remitted in the government of Liberia account. $1.2 million. So all the taxes that were collected, 1.2 million never went into the government account. From the NASCOR pension, 1.5 million was collected but not given to NASCOR. So 1.5 million was collected by different agencies, out of people's paycheck, but it never reached NASCOR. Also, in NASCOR, or just across the government, $241,000 was spent. They paid board members, and they gave them gratuities, but they never had any evidence of them attending any meetings. $121,000 was spent, and no payment vouchers, invoices, or any receipts were given for this money. $70,000 of goods and service taxes was never given to the government of Liberia, although it was collected. So think about this large sums of money being collected all around these different agencies in the government, but they are not sending the money to the government of Liberia to actually spend the money on education, roads, schools, health care. All of this money, millions of dollars, going nowhere. Where is it? What happened to it? Disappeared. You see, this is the problem that we have in the country. This is why the country is not developing. It's because we have so much corruption and stealing in the country, so much mismanagement, poor management, that this money that is being collected is not actually used to benefit you, your family, your children, to fix the country, provide good drinking water, good health care, good education, And that is why we are saying there's time for change. It's time to change the system. Because if you have a strong system, you can't get away with stealing and hiding and crooking that much money. Somebody would say, excuse me, April has gone by. You did not remit the pension fund money this month. Where is it? If you don't bring it this month, we will be at your office to do an audit because the money should have been here this month. There's no one knocking on the door saying that because there's no checks, no balances, no system in place. Jefferson, what do you say about all this money, millions of dollars being lost to poor mismanagement in the government?
Well, it's just so about corruption, I would say. And this is why the country continues to remain where it is, because when people are, just all about themselves, they have the mindset of just coming to government to just enrich themselves. They believe that the only place they can find riches and wealth is to work in government, where they will have funds diverted into private accounts, and then millions of dollars leaving the country, main covers, and then going into unknown accounts without proper justification. Who suffers the end of the day? It is the government that, and not the government, but the country. It is the country that bears the consequences, and the vast majority of the people, they continue to live in abject poverty. And so you find out at the end of the day, when audits are being done, even with all of these audits that are conducted, you still have these funds not being remitted into government covers, because now when the money comes, where do they go? Nobody accounts for them, and people sometimes just walk free. Somebody will just maybe resign or so. But it is just a sad thing for our country.
Thank you. Dr. Pearson, welcome to Liberia Future TV Week in Review.
Thank you for having me, Catherine. And Jefferson, it's a pleasure seeing you after being away for a while. And to the Liberian people out there, sorry, I gotta find my Liberian voice. I'm just in the office, so I ain't got my Liberian voice yet, but I will find my Liberian voice in the show. It's a pleasure being on. There's a lot going on in the country, and I'm sure we will be able to discuss those issues and see how we can bring some understanding to the situations in Liberia.
Yes, we are talking about topic 1, which is the waste of the government stops growth. We cannot develop the infrastructure because we need so much money to develop the infrastructure of the country. When you have these audits that were taking place that show millions and millions of dollars that never reached the government of Liberia account, money that was collected for taxes, money that was collected for pension, money paid to board members. I mean, you're sitting on a board. It's for the good of the organization. You're not supposed to be doing it to get paid. It's not a job. It's just for you to sit and help govern. But $240,000 were paid without no evidence that these people even went to a board meeting. This kind of wasteful spending is the reason why we don't have good healthcare, teachers. What say you, Dr. Pearson?
Thank you, Catherine. And no, that's why it is important for us to have these conversations, because prior to getting social media as active as it is right now, and the penetration of these kind of a conversation and communications across our country, when we had limited access to information, it was easy for people to do things and get away with it, whether they are stealing money. And sometimes we even have other reports that are lying there with no access to those other reports. We don't even know what is in other report. So people became complacent, and people thought they could get away with some of those behavior. But now things are kind of different, right? So now that we have access to information, whether they like it or not, whether public officials like it or not, we have access to information. We know how to go and sort out the information. We know where to go and find it. We know when to ask for it. We know when to bring it up, even if they're trying to ignore it. So at this point, let us speak to the issue of the waste, right? So waste is one of the major constraints we have in Liberia right now. Madam Ellen just mentioned this, that the country is filthy, is dirty. We have foreign guest influencer comes to the country and trying to even videotape and expose it. And then we're finding problem trying to catch up and keep up with keeping the city clean. But at the same time, when you look at why we're failing, there are a couple of reasons. One would be not only that we don't have the structure and the infrastructure to go about waste management, but the thing about any planning, Catherine and Jefferson, is resources. We've been very reliant on donor support. Now, donor support, they're winding down. In fact, people are putting the donor support to African countries away. So we have to make maximum use of whatever internal resources we can generate. So, and let us remember that when we are able to raise any revenue in the country and manage it properly, that very revenue is able to sustain any viable project that we're trying to carry out in the country. So, for instance, the cleaning of the city. So, if you are able to generate monies, and Jefferson and I were having this conversation the other day, if you're able to raise money from marketers, if you are able to raise money from street sellers, you are able to raise money from trash disposal, and then you end up squandering the money. How do you reinvest it, Catherine? Like, how do you reinvest it? In fact, not only just to reinvest it, how do you reinvest it in a way that you build the capital and build the infrastructure for the management of those waste? Like the way I live right now, I don't bother about waste. The people come every Monday to pick up my trash, and every Thursday to pick up my recycle, right? I don't have to even think about it. I just pay for it and it's get done. No one eats the money, right? And then stay away from doing their job. It doesn't happen like that. And tying it to sanitation, it goes down to health in the arrest agenda. So if this is as serious as it's supposed to be for the Liberian people and the government of Liberia, why are they allowing monies that should be used for its intended purpose to be stolen? Someone will say, well, it's just it's the past government. But listen, if the current government was doing better, we say, yeah, the other guys who came before them mess it up. Now the new guys are doing the right thing, but we still don't see any change, and that tells you that the system is still not being is not self-correcting. Regardless that we've changed leadership, Catherine.
This is video from Senator Dillon talking about the situation in LEC. We need so much money to expand the electricity grid, and all of this money that's being wasted in somebody's pocket, paid to people they're not even going to the board meetings, but they're getting paid. Political paybacks. All of this money, we could be using it for something good in the country. Take a listen.
How is the LDC situation in the country today?
I said it a few days ago. I put out a post. Interestingly, when LDC
I don't want to remind our audience. I didn't see your post, but let me just play this for you.
The first thing I changed and Boga became president is that George Weah is not president anymore. That's number one. Number two, Julius. Number two, LDC is not everywhere, but the places LDC supply current, plenty of people don't remember when they put a generator on. In fact, no home panics when LEC goes this time. In fact, everybody almost sent them to the same place because when LEC goes, they come in almost right back. If you say nothing has changed, go put your generator on and it will start immediately. When you use generator 1 or 2 with the house starting, and 2, people used to buy LEC current and at the same time buy fuel for the generator. They used to use the generator more than the LEC because LEC was not stable. Now, that fuel money that you're not using again, that something has changed that you can use for something else. Some people who say they have not changed, nothing has changed, like President Weah and Ellis coming and opposition. Thank God President Weah and Ellis coming from the Southeast. Let them get in car today from Aurora and go to Maryland and Grand Crew. If they will not reach today, and if they won't come back, if they don't return today, they will know nothing has changed. Since Bwaka became president, the rice price have not gone up, but it has reduced. Since Bwaka became president, no Liberian car owner or horse owner have formed queue at filling stations in anticipation or fear that there will be shortage of petroleum products. The product have not gone up, the cost, the prices, but it have come down. Go in America where they quick to compare Liberia. Almost every commodity price have gone up since Donald Trump became president. Rice price up, egg price up, coffee price up, groceries prices are up. Almost everything prices coming down in Liberia. The only thing we see, I tell people, if you don't change the way you see things, the things you see will not change.
His name is Darius DeLon.
His name is Darius DeLon. I like. Who's that? Clarence Jackson, right? Is that his name?
That's Julius J.
Judah J. I like Judah J. I never met him. But anyway, DeLon, you going to take this back today? LEC stays stable in the country. LEC stay good.
No, but the time I had this interview, you didn't play it. Because the time I
didn't see it.
Exactly. You did not see it deliberately. I'm a propagandist like yourself. When I had this interview, nobody could challenge the truism and the facts of what I said at the time. Now that LEC is very terrible and embarrassing, I made a statement that LEC is embarrassing.
Now, this is Senator Dillon. Okay, my Liberian people. He went on one show and said LEC is beautiful. You don't even need your generator. You don't even need fuel for your generator. As soon as LEC go, it come right back. It's beautiful. Prices are down. Gas prices are down. Everything is wonderful. Now he's on another show and saying LEC is terrible. It's embarrassing. You know, so I have whiplash. I'm just going like this. What is happening with these people? You know, they are themselves proving that nothing has changed. He said, oh, Alex Cummings has said nothing has changed. Yes, nothing has changed. Prices are high. Waste for government. And then on top of that, you are charging extra taxes on people. I don't understand it. Jefferson, what is really going on with these people? Oh, Jefferson, you are muted. Oh, I think Jefferson may be off. He's not connected. Go ahead, Dr. Pearson.
You know, I'm looking at the video and I'm just laughing because, you know, Liberia is an interesting country, Catherine. And I say that because I think, you know, let me be honest here. DeLon is one of those who I have a lot of respect for in terms of how he has distinguished himself when it comes to his output in serving the country. I knew DeLon before he even rose to prominence. From way down the line, and he's one of those I have a lot of respect for. So I'm not in any way trying to speak in a derogatory manner concerning Senator DeLon. But this is what I would say. I think what DeLon mentioned in the video is self-explanatory. He says he's a propagandist, right? So the essence of someone being a propagandist is just to tell you that they are those who just gave the rhetoric to appease the public, to sway public opinion. So I can understand when DeLon is making some of the claims that he made. I'm frequently in Liberia. You know, a lot of the times I go to Liberia. Ridiculously, we spend a lot on fuel, on gasoline to run generator when current goes. Because let me say this for a fact: it's difficult. Like when I go in the summer, it's difficult catching to sleep in your bedroom without the air conditioner during the summertime. Even if it is rainy season, to an extent, at least you can try, right? But during summer, it's pretty difficult. I mean, you sweat profusely like you taking shower, you know, and then the mosquito and stuff. Just the other day, I was in Liberia. My current went for in less than 30 minutes before they could get the generator on. I got bitten by mosquitoes to the extent that I end up having fever. All right, it's just that I'm a kwaku, and Jefferson nowhere me to be a kwaku. You know, I'm a kwaku.
I'm not.
So the malaria could do nothing to me. You know, I could see the love in the eyes of the mosquito, but it didn't make it.
I'm not a kwaku.
But it didn't make it. You know, and I took sick there. I got fever, and I sent my son to go and get me medication. He brought me Lucky Noy, you know, Lucky Noy. And Catherine, you might be wondering why Lucky Noy is.
I don't want to know.
You know, in America we take Tylenol, right? And they do sell it, you know, bro. But when you buy it from the Lucky pharmacy read me and read brand as Lucky Noy.
Oh.
But I just say that just for my Liberian people who are listening, you know. And then look, I'm saying this to say, look, you see, we need to understand when DeLon tells us that something's changing, and Mr. Cummings is saying nothing has changed, because they don't have the level of understanding of Mr. Cummings. They are looking on the margin of things. They're looking on the periphery, like on the periphery. They're looking at the things that's not substantive. Let me give an example, Catherine. Catherine, when you want to look to see if change has occurred, you want to look for systemic changes, right? Change that happens from the root, so that when you say this issue has been addressed, you're going few months down the line or 3 weeks down the line, then it seems a year down the line, it seems all issues resurface. You want to address it in a way that it stays addressed, right? And so when you look at some of the things that they call changes, now he's talking about prices coming down, while prices going up in America. Take for example, he's not even considering the importance of the quality of the goods coming to the country. What is the quality of the goods coming to the country? Some of the milks that come to the country, some of the eggs that come to the country. I'm talking about the one that they're producing there. Some of the other product that comes to the country, some of them before they even get in the store and stay 2-3 months, they are expired, right? I was just looking at one of the local radio station in Liberia, listening to one of the local radio station in Liberia the other day, and a lady was mentioning how she went to do a workshop and she went and bought a wet, the wet towels that you can use to wet things that is alcohol-based content used to disinfect tables or chairs if you're wiping them down. And she bought the wet towel and carried it, and the whole packet was dry, totally dry. So she took it back to the store and told the man, look, this thing is called wet towel for a reason. It has to be wet, right? How come the whole packet is dry? He said he cannot take it, right? He cannot take it back. And then I saw the commerce minister speaking to that. So what is the quality of the goods are you talking about that the prices are down when there are a lot of so much expired product on the market? So you have people who sell it cheap because they wanted to go. Right? If you're bringing quality stuff in the country, like the United States will make sure anything comes to the country meets a certain standard, then the importer will want to make sure that they get the money from the excess that they're putting into the product, the quality of product they bring in the country. So what qualities do we have there that he's posting that is cheap? You know, I went to Liberia before one day. I decided to buy toothpaste. I put the toothpaste on the toothbrush, try to brush my teeth. It can even say dissolve or foam or whatever. I'm like, you know, what kind of a toothpaste is this? Like, you know, and my children had to go and get me the one they know will work for me from exclusive supermarket. So, and then talking about the current catching. we all know that we have a seasonal hydro. Seasonal hydro, it means to say that during the dry season, it goes dry, right? In the wet season, the rainy season got 2 seasons there. In the rainy season, of course, it's going to perform to an extent, right? When you're coming close to the end of the dry season, where the water that is supplying the hydro is totally unproductive for the hydro to get its a yield that you want out of the hydro, of course, there will not be proper electricity in the country. So at the time you get that electricity, that's not the right time to evaluate whether you have sustainable and potential for electricity. No, that's not the time. So go through the dry season and be able to balance out the CLSG power from Guinea and from Ivory Coast, balance it out with other, maybe solar, balance it with thermal energy we say we have in the country now, and see it supplies during the dry season. Then you tell me, say the current is stable, then catch you out. I believe you, right? But no, it can be raining, say you got plenty of water. Come to the dry season, when no rain, then you tell me, say you get water, then I understand, you know?
Yeah, to me, I think the waste that we have in the country could go towards expanding the electricity grid and buying solar. You know, a lot of these street lights in Hawaii, all of the lights that are along the highways are solar. You know, the reason why is because they get a lot of sunlight. Instead of installing more street lights that use electricity, they should be investing in solar lights that capture the sun during the day, and at night they regenerate and use that energy at night, because you only need street lights at night. You don't need them during the day. So instead of installing electricity based street lights, they should start focusing on solar based street lights, using some of this money that they are stealing corruptly, hiding, putting in different places. They should be using that to at least start working on the street lights and seeing what other areas they could use for solar based electricity. Because in order to grow the grid is going to be very expensive. But these are some of the things that we can ask when we are negotiating or renegotiating these concession agreements. Instead of getting 3% for B Mountain, you should be getting more money and using that money to say, how much is it going to cost for us to build more transmission across Liberia so that we can have more electricity? It's probably going to be a 10 to 15 year project. It's not something that's going to be immediate, but you have long-term planning and you have short-term planning. And how you deal with that is, what can we do short-term? Well, we can get some more solar. We can look at ways to, expand using our connections with other countries. We can look at ways that we can partner with different companies that want to come in to develop. So there's all kinds of ways to do it. But I think what Dylan was saying actually was that Mr. Cummings ended up being right. That nothing has changed, because when he first started saying, oh, the electricity is doing so well, prices are down, he was saying what Cummings said, nothing has changed. Well, then later on, he had to retract that on Spoon, because yes, prices are going up. They're charging more taxes on people, and things have not changed. This is a man in Grand Bassa. He has to collect water, rainwater, and it is contaminated. He's collecting it, and he's drinking this water. Now, this is unacceptable in 2026. It's unacceptable. And this is a child in the picture. This is why people are not surviving long, why they're having health problems. Because the money that we are supposed to be having in the country is redirected into somebody's pocket. And when they say it's not happening in this government, Joseph Boakai told us it is happening, because he didn't know what happened to $6 million that built a property, presidential palace. He didn't know that somebody took $6 million and started building this property. So this is happening. They are still spending money and no one knows what has happened to that money.
Yeah, yes, and you're right, because in Liberia we say the fish starts to get rotten from the head, and the buck stops with the president. The president should be able to provide leadership. The president should be able to provide vision. The president should be able to call those who are under him in check. Right? I'm not talking about the formality around all we're doing. Government officials evaluation and performance evaluation and checking, certificating people. Like for what? Like you have people sitting over the nations, some of the nations more lucrative public agencies like SOEs, like LPRC, like RRA, like Liberia Water and Sewer and LEC and other areas. And then you allow these people to NASCAR, you are sitting over pensioners' money, and you allow people to go into those monies, Catherine, and use it without legislative approval, and use it without the president having no knowledge that the money is being used, and the president has the audacity to come on state radio, the national radio, ELBC, and say, I didn't have any idea that thing was being done, the property was being built, but it is a good thing. It sounds to me like that father in the house who say, my son brought home, a bundle of money, maybe $1,000 US. I didn't know where it's coming from, but it's a good thing because we can cook now and we can buy clothes and we can pay the tuition. Like, why wouldn't you want to be concerned where the money came from, right? Even if it was your wife's, maybe President Barack, before he became president, his wife was doing a little small marketing and thing alone in front of and so what if your son goes and he steals the mother's market money and come to you and say, Papa, I gave you $50. Then the papa say, go buy me a soda drink, and the child buys the soda drink and bring it home, and then the mother asking the child, where you took the money from? The child say, I know what the child took the money, I know what to think about, I drinking soda drink, so okay. What? Because you feel it has some benefit to the country because it was caught. Now it's okay. So if you cannot account for $6 million that was spent behind your back, and you didn't order a commission, an audit, or an investigation, what else could be stolen? How much money? How much other money is being stolen in that country, Catherine? How much? Which we might be talking millions and millions of dollars. But I guess the appease the president maybe giving one vehicle that costs $1.2 million, and now a mouth is shut, and every now and then maybe they carry a luggage or a bag of money to him and say, Mr. President, yes, somebody I can pay us in your compound for yourself, so when you leave from power, you can have somewhere to stay. So does that make it okay? No, I mean it's disturbing, Catherine. It's very disturbing.
It really is. And Jefferson, you have anything before we close on this?
Yeah. So you getting me now?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry for that. So I listened to Senator DeLone and I watched the video. Sometimes it's good to put these politicians on record whenever they're saying things. He believed then that maybe the dry season, LEC people were not using their generators, so he believed now then that there wouldn't be the sound of any generator across the country or the city. But we were interested to know that, like Dr. Pearson said, even I hear almost every night the current will come, like for example, yesterday was Unification Day. Early in the morning, I was getting ready to come to the station, to come to work to do, and just within that time, between 6:15, 6:20, and the lights went off, and I was like, wow. I did a post. I said, LEC today holiday, they cut off speech from oil again. Yeah, so because they turned the lights off, And later on in the afternoon, in the evening hours, they brought the lights around 9, between 9 to 10. And it was interesting to know that at 12 a.m., the lights went off. And so it's just like that. So Senator DeLong, maybe at his home, he's not feeling the pinch of buying fuel. And so he doesn't know how it is. Or maybe he has, he's one of those who are on the executive line. So he doesn't, want to know. But it is so heartbreaking, so disturbing to hear that, current people can use that generator again. This time, after 2 weeks, you try it, it will give you heart starting. That's more great on people. That's complete mockery, because you right now. I mean, I just placed a call back home and I asked current there, and everybody is just hit some lying on the floor, and you have to open your windows, expose your inside part of the house to criminals because the heat and what have you. And so but these politicians, they will not feel it. That's how it is. The LEC current has become a ration now in Liberia. Selling it, they give you 2 hours here, they cut you off 2 hours on the other side, they cut you off 2 hours to the other place. That's how it is. So it's just sad.
Well, I thank you, Jefferson. I just want our audience, the people who listen to us, we are Liberia Future TV. And the reason why we have future in there is because we want to change the country. We want to fix the country. We want a different country. We want a better future. And we cannot have the stealing, the corruption, because what it does is it stops us from growing the country. It stops us from building the infrastructure of the country. If we didn't have all this money that was stolen, we could build our LEC capacity. So that's why we need a president who knows how to stop corruption, how to stop the stealing, how to stop the waste.
All right. Hello. This is LIB Future TV. You have been listening to a rebroadcast, but now we are live, and we are going to be discussing what's going on in Liberia, at least in the last 24 to 48 hours. Once again, this is your humble host, Michael Padmore. I'd like to welcome all of you. Stay tuned, and let's discuss Liberia. We only have an hour left. So what we're going to do is I'm going to present the discussion for the first 20 minutes, and then we'll go to the lines, and then we'll get your take on your contribution to the topic. So what has been circulating in the last 24 hours is an apparent publication by the Monrovia City Corporation. And I don't know if you guys remember, but on April 18th, I believe, the Lord Mayor came out and did a presentation. And in that presentation, he discussed the new city ordinances and regulations, especially concerning vacant lots and abandoned buildings. There's a section in the regulation, section 4, which is the regulation on vacant lots, abandoned buildings, and urban aesthetics. So first of all, I will read that section to you. We're going to try to be fair here to the mayor, right? Mayor Siafa. We'll try to be fair here to him. We don't. There's no need for us to inject anything that has not already, anything that needs to overly exaggerate on it. All right. So first of all, let me read that section. It's section 4 of the city regulations on vacant lots, abandoned buildings, and urban aesthetics. It states as follows: all vacant lots within the city of Monrovia shall be properly secured, maintained, and kept from waste, illegal dumping, and overgrowth. Let me repeat that. All vacant lots within the city of Monrovia shall be properly secured, maintained, and kept from waste, illegal dumping, and overgrowth. At a minimum, such lots must be fenced or clearly demarcated in a manner approved by the city government and maintained in a clean, sanitary, and orderly condition at all times. The use of vacant land as unauthorized dump sites or for any activity that degrades environmental health or the aesthetics of the city is strictly prohibited. As I'm reading this to you, my people, I want for you to keep in mind Monrovia City. Okay? I want for you guys to keep in mind Monrovia City. For the purpose of this regulation, an abandoned building shall be defined as any structure that is unoccupied, unused, neglected, or left in a state of disrepair for a prolonged period. Mind you, prolonged is not defined. What is prolonged to you might not be prolonged to me. And which poses risk to public safety, attracts squatters, or negatively impacts the visual and environmental condition of the city. Owners of such buildings are required to ensure that they are properly secured, sealed, and maintained, including regular upkeep of the structure and its surroundings to prevent deterioration and preserve the aesthetics of the city. All property owners of vacant lots and abandoned buildings must take necessary steps to prevent unauthorized occupation, illegal activities, and environmental degradation. Now, here's the most important part. Failure to comply with these requirements, such shall result in enforcement actions by the city government. Let me repeat that. Failure to comply with these requirements shall result in enforcement actions by the city government, including fines ranging from not less than $500 United States dollars and not more than $2,500 United States dollars, depending on the severity of the violation. And it goes on, okay? It goes on to talk about evicting of squatters, undertaking of necessary interventions, recovery all associated costs, temporarily utilize the property in the public interest, and then it ends with property owners are strongly encouraged to actively develop, renovate, or put such properties to productive use. Continued neglect or non-compliance may attract additional legal actions in accordance with applicable laws of the Republic of Liberia. Let's stop there for a second, people. That is section 4 of the regulations released by the Monrovia City Corporation, headed by Lord Mayor himself, His Excellency Siafa. Now, as I was reading this, I hope you're creating a mental, visual picture of the city of Monrovia. Let's start with National Housing and Savings Bank. And another bank right at the corner of Broad and Galley Street. As a matter of fact, it encompasses a half block. Broad and Galley Street. That tall yellow building that has been abandoned since 1990. You check how many years that is. The men say, according to the regulation, prolonged period of time. Is 35 years prolonged enough? Government has abandoned that building for over 35 years. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, 1998, the crane that was used on that building, the crane was still standing. A piece of iron fell from on the crane and hit somebody in the head. The only thing, God bless that man. It never killed him. And because of the public outcry, that government managed to pay money for them to take that crane down. That was more than 25 years ago. Since that time, that building just full with squatters. Government has faced that building. $1.2 billion budget. You're not face that building. You buy Joseph Burger $1 million car. You're not face that building. You're not renovate in 3 years. You're not renovate Joseph Burger house more than 10 times. You're not face the building. We are going into the year of cars for the legislature. 73 people come and get brand new cars, upwards of $45,000. You're not face that building. But that the struggling citizens that are trying to find their daily bread, that don't want to commit crimes, that are trying their best, getting up every day to hustle around to feed their families, that they're the one you're coming after now about their building. The saying says, charity begins at home. If you think the city should be beautified by buildings being renovated, then why you don't start with your own? Why you can't start with your own? Why you can't start with National Housing and Savings Bank on Broad Street? On Broad Street. Why you can't start with that one? Your leader one is there. You leave it. You're not touching. But now you're coming after the citizens. You every single day, you're behind the people. You be patient with government, we're working. Be patient with government, we're working. We're trying to change the thing. Be patient with government. You know, the previous government put in a deep hole. We're just trying to come out of the deep hole. So if the previous government put you in deep hole, that you want to put in deep hole, or that the whole country. So if the previous government put the whole country in deep hole, you can't get the other people chance to come out of their own hole. You can't do that. You're coming after the citizen and the smaller property that they have. What is wrong with this government? What's wrong with Siafa? Why are you doing this? You know, this is one of the reasons why the mayor of Monrovia should be elected, so that he cannot be a stooge for the government. The mayor of Monrovia should be elected, because if you were elected, you will never open your mouth and talk something crazy like that, because you know that he will be taking out of office and will elect somebody to actually do the job. But you see, when the mayor is not elected, he feels like he's not answerable to the people. He's answerable to the executive mansion. So he doesn't care about the people. He doesn't care about what they think. He doesn't care about what happened to them. All he's trying to do is to appease his political masters. And this is why Monrovia remains in a state of degradation that it does. It's not because of abandoned buildings. Let's get that straight. This has nothing to do with abandoned buildings. Let's take it further. When the last time so it was on Brian Galley Street. I was standing to the corner of Broad and Galley Street, and we're looking up at National Housing and Saving Bank. All right, people, above face, let's turn to the seaside. Let's take a stroll down Galley Street towards the sea. Y'all hold your nose. Y'all hold your nose. Because the stench from Palm Grove Cemetery, they die. This, I mean, I don't understand how you can even sleep at night. I don't understand how Mayor Siafa sleeps at night. When Palm Grove Cemetery, 3 blocks, you get Galley Street, you get Center Street, and then crossing all the way over halfway on Warner Street. How do you sleep at night when they garbage, then you block the street? God help us. So now when you block the street, I mean that they're dead and there. Or when you refuse for people to pass that road, they mean that they're dead and there. So when other side, other mind, you think that's what it is? Lawmail? Look at it, die that to Galley Street. Then you want to turn around and put your mouth on common citizens are trying their best. When the people in Sony went, when they sweep around a horse, did you give them somewhere to dump the dead? Did you give them somewhere and say, look, when you sweep around your horses, when you put the dead together, yes, where you should carry the dead and dump it. Did you give them somewhere? Did you give them? These people collect dead. You think people, Liberians are some of the cleanest people. They have just been put in a very, very uncompromising position. These people still try their best to clean around the small Lake Congos. And then they get it there to the Zogo. Say, Zogo, please find someone and dump it there. Because the dead now, it entering our house. What do you think the Zogo going to dump it? Zogo, anyway, going to dump it there. If the lawmayor is concerned about the dead in Monrovia, then the lawmayor needs to put together a program and say, when you sweep around your house, so and so person will come around and they will collect the dead that you have swept. Everybody will pay that small money. Even if that 100 liberty, they will pay that 100 liberty to get rid of the dead. People don't want to live in dead. People don't want to eat in dead. People don't want their children to be sick because of the dead. But put together the program. Put together the program. And stop harassing the citizens. Stop it. It's not okay. Go and face the National Housing and Saving Bank. Go and face it. Then you come back to we the citizen and say, hey, you see, we not face our own. You need to face your own now. Then what? Then the conversation will begin. I was speaking to somebody earlier today as we prepare to open up the lines. I was speaking to somebody earlier today, and the person was telling me, "Oh, well, you know, the government don't want to take people property, but they need to develop the city." And I said, so what do you think going to happen now? They said, well, if people want to develop their property and they don't want to develop their land, then the government will take it and get the people who want to develop it. What kind of Christianness is that? Land that has been passed down from generation to generation. Your small value that you left. That now the government said they can take to give to somebody else who want to develop. You're serious? If indeed I have my late property that maybe my man left me or my uncle left me or our pa left us, and we get money right now because the economy of the country is not okay, because the government has not put in place the right policies to encourage economic activity that will therefore provide jobs, that then we can earn money and we can renovate the things that we want or the things that we need to renovate. Because the government has failed to do that. And now we are stuck from here to mouth, hustling every day. If indeed that is true, that we have property that we have not renovated, it's not because that we don't want to. Who in one better thing? Who in one better thing? That if I have property over there, I wouldn't develop it. Maybe live in it, or if for it to even bring me more money. Eh? Who want better thing? If indeed there are investors willing to develop those properties, how about you call the owner, you call the investor, you sit them down, and you facilitate a meeting and say, owner, you get property. The property not developed. The country not looking okay like that. The city not looking okay like that. On the other hand, I understand right now you don't get the money to develop it. Here is Mr. So-and-so. He's an investor, he's a developer. Just sit down, your hang here. Just see if you can come to one agreement. You know, maybe they make him lease the place for a certain period of time, and then he can renovate it, develop it, run his business for a certain period of time so he can be able to get his money back and make some money, you know. And then afterwards, you can decide if he continue or he turn the play back over to you. It's up to you at that point. But you need to do something. Then you are talking. Now you are seeking the interest of the citizens. Now you are being a mayor of the people. But you don't do that one. You say there are developers waiting, but you'll keep them in your pocket. Then you will take the people land and give it to the developer. Where? In the country. You start playing with our peace. You start playing with our peace. That peace that we enjoy was hard fought for. Some of us sacrifice our youth for the peace. You stop playing. You better mind. You better mind. You stop playing with our peace. Stop threatening people. You can't suppress people economically. Suppress this. Lack of education, lack of transportation, lack of jobs. They turn around on top of that and say, we're coming, take the one thing that you get, your property. We'll take it from you. Just stop it. Just stop this thing you're doing. Work in the interest of the people, not in the interest of your political masters. Stop this thing you're doing. Jeff, if you are there, if you could come on and we can go ahead and open the lines. We want to hear from our people. We want to hear their contribution to this mind-boggling attempt by the Monroe City Corporation and the Monroe City Mayor Silva, to threaten the people of Monrovia to take away their properties and give it away to other people because they don't have the money to develop it. Just let me know when you're on and ready to go, and we can take it from there. But in the meantime, we'll continue with the conversation. Okay? This is what I'm talking about, people. This is the issue that continues to hamper the people in progress. Government is supposed to serve the people. That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to add pain to the people's already painful life. You're not supposed to further suppress the late effort that people are making. That's not your job. That's not your job. hear this crazy thing what people say when the thing you know the party gonna come away in a few days. Oh, they say development come with pain. Where you hear that craziness from? Whoever told you that is true? Development come with pain. Eh? Where? You said development, betterment. Then you say pain? That is a lame, lazy excuse. And it should not be accepted by anybody. Not by anybody. Development doesn't have to come with pain. Once it is well thought through, well planned, and well executed, development will not come with pain. It's one thing if you say it might be inconvenience. Yeah, it could be an inconvenience. But pain? No, pain is intentional. Pain is unnatural. Pain is unnatural. So if the people are feeling pain, it's not a natural event. It's not. And we should stop lying to the people and pretending like pain is normal, is natural. It's not. If you truly want to beautify the city, there are certain things you can do. How about you start with government buildings? How about you start renovating government buildings? Start beautifying those. And then start linking people who own abandoned properties, vacant lots, with developers. How about you start working with banks so that people can be able to get loans? If somebody has a vacant lot on, give me a street, on Kerry Street. If somebody has a vacant lot on Kerry Street, don't you think if that person erect a building over there, it will, one, beautify the city, two, it will bring them some form of income, three, generate economic activity? Don't you think that will happen? Can you facilitate a meeting with property owners, with abandoned property owners, vacant lot owners, and banks, and say, look, what can you do to help these people give them a loan so that they can develop their property? What can you do in that respect? The people already get property. The property is valuable. It's in the city. They're not going to run away with your money. They want to develop their property. So what can you do to help them, give them a reasonable loan for them to develop their property so that it generates economic activity, it brings them in income, and out of that income, they can pay the loan back to you. What can you do? See, when government start making those kind of moves, then you know government is in on the side of the people. Yes. When government start making those kind of moves, they say, no. We'll not let you take advantage of the people. That interest rate that you're calling is too high. If this family takes such a loan from you, when they will pay it back, all they'll be doing is just paying interest. And if they miss one or two payments, the property will be in jeopardy. You need to do a better job than that. So if the bank comes and say, oh, we want 25% interest, say, no, it's too high. Bring that thing down. So if the bank bring it down to 15, you say, you know what I mean? Government will guarantee 50% of that loan. Bring the loan down to 8%. You see what I'm talking about? Then the government working in your favor. Then the government is finally not doing something. Then government doing something. But they don't do anything. They are threatening you all day. Take your water, take your leg, take your horse. I'm already struggling. Day by day. Then you just wake up and just start taking martini. Why? What I do to you? What do to you? What did the Morel people do to you, Mayor Sefa? That you just after them? Why? Look, we have to do better as a people. We have to do better as a country. We have to do better as leaders. If you don't know the job, please, I beg you, do all of us a favor. Step aside. Step aside. If you don't know the job, step aside. Let other people that know the job do it. There were a lot of people that wanted that Montreal City Corporation job. Lots of people, and not one person. They take it, they get to you. Look at the job you are doing. I wonder when Joseph Boyka drives around, when he's going to work, I wonder how he feel looking at the city. I really want to ask him that question. Oh my Boyka, how you feel? Yeah, when you look at that city. When you sit upstairs on the 8th floor, yeah, and you look out over the city, how do you feel? How do you really feel? Do you feel proud of your Lord Mayor, the mayor of Montreal City? Do you feel proud of your decision to hire him as mayor? Are you proud of the job that he's been doing? Mr. President, why haven't you changed that man yet? Let me ask that question. Why haven't you changed him? Now, why are you waiting for the China man? Look at Palm Grove Cemetery. 2 years ago, we sent the Lord Mayor. Yes, 2 years now. Almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. We sent the Lord Mayor a proposal for Palm Grove Cemetery. We told him, we said, look, the time for gray hair to be in the middle of the city, finish passing. Allow people who want to remove the remains of their loved ones to remove it. After that, bring in red dirt, compact that place, turn it into a park with nice trees, benches, and create memorial walls with the names of those who are buried there. You can even, if you have the information, if the information can be supplied, you put the date, the not just the names, but the day they were born, the day they died. And you put it on there. That on holidays, the decoration day, families can go there, can look on the wall, identify the loved ones. They can sit on the benches under those trees. They can have a picnic. They can just talk about the loved ones, remember the good old days, just kind of reminisce about, when the loved one was around. And they can go home. And the area will remain clean. Bring up the property value in the area. We send this to the Lord Mayor. But you know what? How the saying goes? If you want to kill a dream, just give that dream to a small-minded person and watch that dream die. The news we got from the Lord Mayor was, no, we already have plans for that place. All right, Chief. Boss man, no problem. We're going on more than 2 years now. What a plan that you have? We didn't see it yet. We didn't see it yet. We didn't see the plan yet. So what are you doing now? Why are you doing this to the people? It's not like to say you haven't been handed ideas. Obviously, you are incapable of bringing up your own ideas. So those who have handed you ideas now, what are you waiting for to implement them? What are you waiting for? You have a city of unemployed youth. Why is the city dirty? Put the people to work. Put into work. And I don't mind it's the devil's workshop. Put the people to work. Let them beautify the streets. Let them clean the street, paint the sidewalk, fix the broken sidewalk, take the old billboards down, the old sheets down that are stuck on the walls. I mean, just keep the people busy. But you can't do that one. But what you want to do is you want to seize property. You know, the funny part about it is, you know, I tell you, I say, you need the party, but I saw my men and play them. So my party men in United Party. So I know how United Party thinks. And I see all they thought they talking. There are few properties in Montreal that they get an eye on. But instead of coming out, meeting with the owner of the property and try to negotiate something, no, they want to use government to steal property. And let me give you one of the property that they get an eye on. And you see that EJ Rob building? They want that property. They want it. But they will not come out and talk it. They will try to use these dirty tricks to take away people's property so they can take away the EJ Rob building. And so they can go over there and steal again. And we're out them. Before they can make move, we'll put it outside. And that's the reason why they let her. Somebody went my inbox and say everything around politics. I agree. I agree 100%. Everything around politics. Maybe you need to tell yourself that every now and then. Because for you, everything is politics. That is why you're trying to steal it. Because everything is politics. That's not in the interest of the people. We couldn't hear about here. Oh, 72nd. The army is coming to take by 72nd. The army is coming to take by 72nd. Where are you not doing the play now? Say you drove the people from there. Where are you not doing the play? Why not do the play? Nothing. But you couldn't wait to move the people from there. Now, next play, they're going at Town. You be careful, eh? You be careful. You be very careful. Because the Liberian people have their eyes on you. They have their eyes on you. So you better be careful. Because they think what you want to do to seize people property, it will not work. Let me just be honest with you right now. It will not work. You better come with different plan. It will not work. We will not allow it to work. So you better put yourself together. Do better thing. Y'all go face housing bank. Just start there. You just start there. We get more bidding for you to face. We get more government bidding for you to face. You just start with housing bank. Look at that big, beautiful building just sitting there. You're left it, you'll go build ministerial complex. It's just sitting there empty. You're going to get to developer now. They won't know you're serious. But that's what we are, people. Those are the things, that we wake up to when it comes to Liberia. And we have to speak up. We will not be quiet. We have to speak up. Because that is the only way we can protect ourselves. We can protect our property. We can protect our integrity. We have to speak up. Let people know what's going on. Let people know what this government is doing. Because that's the only way change will truly come. You want people to develop their property? How about you create the economic space so that they become viable? So then they can use the money they have to develop their property. Nobody wants to live the way they're living right now. The only people in Liberia right now that are okay with the life they're living are government officials. Besides that, nobody else in Liberia happy with the life they're living. You ask them and say, my son, God there. That's what they tell you. My son, God there. That's what they tell you. Nothing else. That's what they will tell you. That's what they will tell you. That's what they will tell you. God there. The people are already struggling. The people are already trying. People trying their best to be patient with the government. Just stop pushing them. It's not okay. It's not what they signed up for. Not at all. Just stop it. But yeah, so that's, when I heard the news today, I knew I had to come on. And I knew I had to come and speak for our people. Somebody needed to do it. Somebody needed to come and talk for our people. People are struggling. You go Sunny Wayne, the people are struggling. Go Doe community, the people are struggling. You go Siontown, the people are struggling. You go Gibraltar, the people are struggling. Leave the people property alone. Create economic activity so people can find job, and then they can earn a living, and then they can develop their property. Everybody know better thing. Everybody want better thing. Do your part and see where the people will not do their part. Do your part, government. Do your part. And see whether Liberians will not do their own. What you cannot do, what you will not do, you will not continue to suppress the people and then threaten to take their properties. Some of these people, that property is all they have. They look at the young children coming up and they say, Mommy, Jumbo, the property here, the old girl, They will pass on to you. Behold, come and get different plan. Come and get different plan for you. As far as government concerned, that property they want it. You better stop it. You better stop it. So I will leave that one there for now. The mayor needs to find a better strategy, a better process, a better policy to clean the city and to take care of buildings that are unoccupied. Because let me ask you, who would dare abandon a building? Think about it now. Who would dare abandon a property? If a property appears unoccupied, it means that somebody abandoned it. That's not what it means. How can you interpret that to mean that it is abandoned, that is cast aside, that is uncared for, that no attention is paid to it, that is maybe not even desired? Because that's what abandonment really means. Abandonment means no longer desired, no longer cared for. How you know the property the person get that they have no desire for it? How you know that? Just because they get money to put hell about B billing on it. And every time they go to the bank say no. And when investors come, they don't want to help. They want to take the land from the person. And not only do they want to take the land from the person, but they want to take the land from the people, from the person, like without even giving the person what the land is worth. How do you do that? And then the government is supposed to protect you. The government is supposed to look after you. The government is supposed to be in your corner, advocating for you. Instead of the government doing that, the government is on the other hand undermining you, siding with the people that want to take your name. Send a clear message to this government that your land is not for the taking. If they want to do anything, let them help you develop the land. Everybody let better thing. If they really truly are concerned about the land, then let them help you develop the land. At least if they help you develop the land, then you can say, okay, we're working together now for the betterment of Liberia. And I want to send a caveat out to those of you who land not in Monrovia, who land is outside of Monrovia. Don't think you're free. Do not think you are free. This thing that is starting in Monrovia, once we allow them to execute it, they will export it out of Monrovia. Those of you who get LIB property in Marshall, Johnsonville, Mount Barkley, Brewerville, Royceville, that you don't want to come in for Nest. You're coming for Nest. Pay attention. If you think you're free, you're not free. When the government finish on Monserrato, when they finish on Monrovia, that you're coming for Nest. They're coming to your property. You're coming for. So be vigilant. Be on your guard. When you see them creeping small like this, sound the alarm and tell them, no way. You're not taking my lane. There are other remedies that we can follow. You can help me develop my lane. You can connect me with developers to develop my lane. You can work with banks for me to get a loan. You can effect the loan by backing the loan, so it reduces the risk that the bank has to take. There's so many things as government you can do. So many things, but you don't even seem interested. It seems like the only thing you want to do is to just take. And that was not our contract. When we voted you into office, the contract was not for you to just take. The contract was in exchange. I will give you a job. I'll give you a salary. I'll give you a car. I will give you scratch car. I will pay fuel for your generator. In return, you are supposed to fix my problems. Bad roads, bad hospitals, bad schools. That's the exchange. But for the last 3 years, as a citizen, I've been giving. What have you done, government? What have you done? I'm still waiting. What have you done? Now you're asking, you're demanding even more from me. Now you want my only property. And I'm just supposed to lay down and let you walk over me? As a citizen of this great community, I'm just supposed to let you walk over me? I wonder what Senator Dillon has to say about this. I'm really intrigued. I really want to know what my brother Senator Dillon has to say about this. I really want to know. Senator, are you listening to these people? Are we going to get a reaction from you? Are you going to summon the mayor to ask him why is he doing what he's doing? Because we're looking up to you. We are looking up to you, Senator Dillon. We need to get this straightened out. That's what we need to do. We need to get things straightened out. The sooner the better. You need to step in. Get this stuff done. Senator, that's what you need to do. Some people, like I said at the beginning of this show, or at least for the last 1 hour, I was browsing through Facebook and I came across this. And the first thing I did was I went and researched. That's the best thing you can do. The first step in advocacy is education. That's why I did my research. I came across the video from the Honorable Lawmaker, Siafa. I listened to it. I listened to him try to explain, the new regulation. I listened. Not only that, after listening to him, I myself went and researched the new regulation. And I read through until I came to section 4. When I got to section 4, that's where in section 4, I saw where the mayor had, attempted to explain, I guess, this whole thing. And so that was when I did my research and I read to you guys. So because I wanted you to hear it for yourselves. I didn't want nobody to say, oh, is that what the mayor saying? Or is that what you heard? No. I didn't want for nobody to carry this. So that's why I read it. So everybody heard it. Everybody heard it. So just for your clarification, one last time. I will read section 4 of the regulations of the City of Monrovia laid down by the Monrovia City Corporation. Section 4, regulation on vacant lots, abandoned buildings, and urban aesthetics. All vacant lots within the City of Monrovia shall be properly secured, maintained, and kept free from waste, illegal dumping, and overgrowth. At a minimum, such lots must be fenced or clearly demarcated in a manner approved by the city government and maintained in a clean, sanitary, and orderly condition at all times. Look, when I hear that word clean and sanitary, the first place my heart can run to that Palm Grove Cemetery. Okay? That's where that's the first place my heart can run to. The man said if you own your building must be clean, sanitary, and orderly, in any orderly condition at all times. But go look at a Palm Grove Cemetery. Mayor Server, are you serious right now? We continue. The use of vacant land as unauthorized dump sites or for any activity that degrades environmental health or the aesthetics of the city is strictly prohibited. I hope Zogo, smoking in Palm Grove Cemetery, is also prohibited. I hope so, Mayor. But we continue. For the purpose of this regulation, an abandoned building shall be defined as any structure that is unoccupied, unused, neglected, or left in a state of disrepair for a prolonged period and which poses risks to public safety, attracts squatters, or negatively impacts the visual and environmental condition of the city. Owners of such buildings are required to ensure that they are properly secured, sealed, and maintained, including regular upkeep of the structure and its surroundings, to prevent deterioration and preserve the aesthetics of the city. All property owners of vacant lots and abandoned buildings must take necessary steps to prevent unauthorized occupation, illegal activities, and environmental degradation. Failure to comply with these requirements shall result in enforcement actions by the city government, including fines ranging from not less than 500 United States dollars and not more than 2,500 United States dollars, depending on the severity of the violation. The city government shall issue a compliance notice providing a corrective period of not less than 30 days. Yeah, 30 days. And not more than 60 days. They've been sitting down there for 35 years. They're not facing. They're giving you 60 days before they take your property. Properties owners are strongly encouraged to actively develop, renovate, and put such properties to productive use. Yeah. We're ready to throw any people here. Continued neglect or non-compliance may attract additional legal actions in accordance with applicable laws of the Republic of Liberia. And people, there you have it. I've laid it up before you. Do not let the people do that to you. Me yourself, you better mind. You better mind. With that, I say we'll keep on keeping on. We'll continue to demand from our government what is rightfully ours. A good, safe, productive life. If they're able, they need to step aside and allow others who are capable to do the job. Be safe. This is Mike Padmore, and I'll talk to you all later.
LIB!